Welcome back with a smiling face. Links to previous episodes are given in the video description, so don't forget to like, subscribe and share the video. Wolves of Shadowed Fate. Episode 14. Chapter 77-81. Raven's POV as Brandon and Justin head to the circle and I feel my heart clench. I can feel both of them radiating their power at each other, and their shirts came off. I can feel interest pick up from some of the she-wolves, but thankfully they stay silent. I don't mind people looking at them, I can't stop them, but I will not allow them to hit on either one of them. I see Brandon stretch this time, and then start running in place. Justin does the same thing, as he fought first, and needed to warm his muscles back up. He takes the fighting seriously. Brandon won the last 2 times. And I think it is a matter of pride for him, to take the win this time. I see them both eyeing each other, as they finish stretching. This fight always makes me nervous for both of them. They are going to go all out, and I can't do anything but worry for them both. Justin steps into the circle first, and Brandon steps in 20 seconds later. His eyes stay trained on Justin, sizing him up. He knew Justin was staying on his training and had taken a few extra Krav Maga classes since last month. Crew steps up to start the fight and they both circle looking for an opening from the other. Brandon lands the first blow, with a hammer fist punch that Justin almost avoided, but it still landed. I see Justin frown and was not pleased that it happened, and I see him try to shake it off and let it go. He cannot allow himself to get upset, and just lash out. You have to stay cool in the heat of battle. They just started 3 months ago, and are basically still at the beginner level. But they learn quickly. The trainers have shown them some more advanced moves, and I believe that they will be taking advantage of that in this fight. More and more people are coming to watch the fight, as they are known to be the best here at Blackadder. Justin twisted and his elbow connected with Brandon's ribs, and I can tell that he may have injured them. I am already mind-linking the doctor, to come out and at least check his ribs. There is nothing else that they can do when it is a rib injury. I can see Brandon is favoring his right side now, which will be his disadvantage. Brandon is right-handed and this will affect the power of his punch, and his reach on that side. I have cracked a rib before when I got hurt from the fall off the bridge. It hurts, very badly, even sitting still and breathing hurts. I want to call the fight, but they won't allow that either. It will get finished, one way or another now. I will still have the doctor here to treat one, or both of them, as I know how Brandon will be over that injury. Justin will get some payback from it, it is just a matter of time. They are circling again, and I see Justin come in to land a punch. Brandon swipes his legs, and brings Justin down. Before Brandon can get down and put him in a chokehold, Justin rolls free and is up again. Brandon's injury is causing him to be slower as he doesn't want to cause any more damage to his ribs than he already has now. They know more moves, and in an effort to not really injure the warriors training in this, they actually both train using dummies to work on. There are some moves used to incapacitate the people you are fighting against. You wouldn't do an eye gouge or an uppercut elbow in this type of fight. We do not need our men and women blinded, or with substantial wounds. If their throat is hurt enough, then they could not be able to breathe and could potentially die. So some moves are banned in training. One wrong move and it could be a very serious situation, for both fighters. This monthly fight was to get people interested in taking the advanced training and learning another level of defense. We need to make sure that we get our people trained, to where it is second nature for them to be able to defend themselves. When fighting in wolf form, that can only be one way. The most dangerous thing that we do is biting, and you can spear them in the side too. But it has been determined that spearing another wolf in the side, although handy if you are in wolf form, can also injure your neck. You are running at a great speed to stop them, and when you connect there is always a possibility of jamming your neck, hurting your neck, and a possible concussion occurring. Some wolves are very large and heavy. We have learned that traveling is best in our wolf form, but conserving our energy while fighting to allow our wolves to heal us as we do, is sometimes the best way to go. The only other option is tearing the unprotected underbelly, which can also kill a wolf, but is dangerous as you are put in a bad spot to get it done. Brandon and Justin have really been working on bringing our pack forward. They have been meeting with my dad, Beta Timothy, Joshua, and my brothers, to come up with ways to get the numbers down, losing the minimal amount of our people. Brandon cares for his pack members, and although we know that there is no way to not lose any, we still want to keep our numbers down for our losses. My father and brother are concerned on their end as well. So we are all working on getting this done. Dad is having training for the weapons on his pack land now, and we will have the same trainers come here next month. I hope that I am healed enough and cleared by the doctor to participate in it. I see Brandon come in again to land another blow, and Justin takes him down with a forward kick. He took Brandon's feet right out from underneath him, and took him down to the ground, before going on top of him to take him into a front choke hold. There are escapes from it, but from how Justin is situated, Brandon would have to use his right arm forcefully, to get out of it, and with his ribs damaged, it was hard for him to do. I see the tap, and Justin gets up and reaches out to have Brandon grab his hand with his left arm and get an assist up. I am very anxious, that was really fast, and I know that Brandon is hurt worse than he is letting on right now. He doesn't like for people to know how hurt he is and his mouth is tight, so I know he is hurting. I rush in to check on him as the doctor gets there to check him out. Brandon has probably broken or cracked his ribs in the fight. The doctor was going to have to get him to the pack hospital to run an X-ray on him to know how bad the damage was. I can feel my stomach cramp with my worry for Brandon, and I rush to go to the pack hospital with him. I am so worried for him, and Justin grabs both their shirts and follows us to the hospital. Brandon can't put it on right now, but he might need it later on at the hospital. My anxiety rises at the thought of him being hurt like that, and I am a little mad at Justin. I know his pride took a blow the last 2 months, but the baby is about to be here, and he might not even be able to hold him properly with his injury. I looked over at Justin with a glare on my face, but I stopped because he looks just as upset as I am over this. I realized that he probably expected Brandon to step back more to keep it from landing as hard as it did. It was a fight, and these two men do their best to go all out when they do fight. I feel the pain again, and I put my hands on either side of my stomach, and stop for a minute. I was right next to Justin when I stopped, and he was right there to help me. He called out to the doctor and Brandon, who immediately stopped to see what had happened. I see the concern they both have, and Justin picked me up to carry me to the hospital, mind linking my doctor to come to check on me. He takes me to the nurse's station, and they take me to the Alpha suite. But I want Brandon to be checked out first, in the Alpha suite. This baby isn't coming this second, he isn't actually supposed to be here for another 5 days. I insist on waiting while Brandon gets seen. I am more worried about him than I am about myself. People have babies every day, and from what I had researched about it, they take a minute to get here. Brandon gets taken to get X-rays, and I waited with Justin. The pain is coming like clockwork now, every 4 minutes. I just focused on my breathing, and Justin held my hand. Brandon came back and he had good news, his ribs were bruised, but not broken. I was relieved, and thankful. I guess he did manage to step back and keep the blow from doing too much damage. He was given a cold compress to put on it, and we waited for my doctor. I am assuming that these are Braxton Hicks and the doctor will give us the all clear to leave soon. Brandon insisted on me getting into the bed while I waited, and a nurse came after a while to get me to change into a hospital gown to be checked out. Both Brandon and Justin were super excited at the possibility of the baby coming, but I was insistent on us leaving as soon as I got cleared to do so. I see my doctor come in and she is all smiles at the guys, at how excited they both were. I guess since I was the one in pain, I was much less happy about being here. "Well, Luna, let's get you checked out," she said, and went ahead to see how far I was dilated. 5 centimeters, you are halfway there. Did your water break? Is that why you came to the hospital? The doctor asked. No, the ranked sparring match just happened. I guess seeing them fighting together, and Brandon getting hurt. I guess I didn't notice the pain. But my water hasn't broken yet, I told her. She grinned at me and said, "You are well on your way. When did you start feeling the contractions?" "Last night before bed," I told her, and both men snapped their heads to me. They were surprised, I hadn't mentioned it to either of them. "Why didn't you say something? We could have skipped the ranked competition and just come here to get you checked out," Brandon said, with worry written all over his face. I didn't realize that was what it was, I thought it was the false ones. We still had 5 days left. Plus we were right next to the hospital, just in case. But I didn't honestly think that my labor had started, I wasn't hurting that badly. So I really wasn't worried about it yet, I told them. I can see the excitement building on their faces as they realize that today will be the day that the baby comes. The doctor ended up having to break my water, and I progressed quickly. The doctor kept commenting to me that she thought that I had a high pain threshold as I didn't get any pain medicine. I think it is more the goddess taking care of me yet again, in this. The guys were so sweet, and Brandon called his parents to let them know that I was in labor. Justin called my parents to tell them that the baby was coming. They were excited as well, and my family started packing up a small bag to head this way. The beta couple wanted to come, but beta Timothy and Amanda were in charge of the pack, for the few days that my parents were here. Plus, Stella will be giving birth soon, and they will be here themselves, probably by next week. I was progressing quickly and we were at 7 centimeters before we knew it. It won't be long now, Raven is really dilating quickly and we should have a baby boy here soon. Probably in the next few hours, my doctor told them. I can see that Brandon was in pain, and I wished that I could fix it for him. He was going to hurt sitting or standing with the bruised ribs, but at least nothing was broken. That would take a lot longer to heal. They were on either side of my bed, and with each contraction, they helped support me as I felt them. I know that this is supposed to be worse than what I am actually experiencing. All the nurses are telling me that the goddess is helping me with this first labor. I was so glad to have both men here with me. I needed them. Justin only let my hand go when I wasn't dealing with a contraction, and that was only to give me ice chips when I needed them. He was ready to go for active labor, as he already had a washcloth to wipe my forehead with a cool rag to help me, as he had really been studying what happens during birth on his free nights. He was really prepared and had even packed my bag for me too. Neither of them would leave me unless my dad, brothers, or Brandon's dad were here in the room to protect me and the baby. I already knew that we were their first priority. I was glad to have them here when the active labor started. Clearly, the goddess was with me as I pushed. I didn't have any problems with the delivery, and I am assuming that she did it for a reason, as she knew we have a timeline here. We knew we had a minute, but getting the kids and the pack ready was not going to be a small feat. There was going to be a lot of training, and I had a feeling that I was going to be getting pregnant again, probably as soon as I got cleared to be with my mates again. You can't stop what a higher power has intended for you. You can try to run from it like I did, Justin. But if it is meant to be, you won't have a choice about it. Even at just 3 months now, I cannot see my life without Justin in it. He is powerful and strong with others. But with me, he is doting and loving. I cannot imagine my life without Brandon either. He runs the pack with a much tighter grip now, after the incident with Justin. Brandon puts down his guard with me and his family. But he loves me endlessly too. Stop and don't push until I tell you to, I heard my doctor tell me. I waited, and a short time later she encouraged me with one more push, and he will be here. I was so happy, and I can hear Emerald in my mind telling me what a good job I am doing. She cannot wait to see her baby either. I felt a squeeze on each of my hands, as they guys were excited to see our baby too. Brandon was just beaming as he leaned forward to watch his son enter the world. His pride was visible on his face as the baby was born. I can see the love in his eyes as the doctor holds the baby. I see his tears as our baby cries out, announcing his arrival. I looked up at Justin, and he is just as impressed as Brandon is with our baby, with his eyes focused firmly on the baby. I watched as Brandon cut the umbilical cord, even though using his right hand hurt him. We started a new tradition with this pregnancy, each man got to pick a name for the baby. We won't be knowing who the baby belongs to at birth, so each of the men picked several names. They knew that we would be having quite a few children, and were ahead of the game. We went through them and pieces them together, and I had approved of half of them already. The names were all meaningful to us. I watched as both men watched as the baby was placed on my chest. I felt the tears on my face as I gazed at my son. I loved him so much already, I couldn't believe the amount of love you can have. It seemed like my heart was about to burst with happiness, and he was perfect. My baby boy. He had my black hair, but he looked just like Brandon. I stroked his cheek lightly with my fingertip, amazed at the life we had created. I wonder if he was going to have Brandon's eyes or mine, and we got the answer pretty quickly. I stared into my own eyes and got overwhelmed again by the love I have for this baby. I looked up at Brandon, who was gazing at me with pride, as I held our son. I was glad that Justin was just as enamored with the pup as we were. This was a good sign, and I feel like it made our bond even stronger between us. I know that he cannot wait to have one of his own, and I am quite sure after a month off, the doctor will give me the all-clear to have S*X again. I am hoping that we will get to stay together for the next month. I slept very well in between them, and I will miss that the most. I am hoping that while I am off limits for at least the next month, that we can continue with the sleeping arrangement that we have going so far. I know that I would be happiest with it. I guess I will have to speak to the guys to see what they think. Chapter 78 Brandon's POV. Just seeing my son being born was the most amazing thing I have ever seen. I was brought to tears, and I can count on one hand how many times that has happened in my life. It was wonderful, and hearing his strong cry made me even more proud. I can see that Justin is just as happy for me, and I make a mental note to thank him for this. I would not have this moment with my son, without him. He may be a competitive jerk sometimes, but I could not be more thankful for him, and his finding Raven, when I was being a jerk. I watched as the baby was placed on Raven's chest, and looked down at my beautiful mate, and precious pup. He is perfect. Mom had been showing everyone our baby pictures as Raven, and Lainey wanted to know what Crew and I looked like as babies. She got out all of our albums. I am sure that Carter and his family will want to see them too. I am pretty sure with them having a boy, that he will probably favor Carter, as my son does me. I have to say that I am fine with him having his mother's hair, to mark him as both of ours. We all watched to see when he would open his eyes to see if my brown eyes or her green ones. He is a strong baby boy, at 8 pounds 8 ounces, and 22 inches long. He will be a great fighter and alpha. I can barely contain my pride in him. I feel like the proudest father that ever lived. I cannot wait to show my son to his family. I see that Justin is just as happy about our baby boy. I know that I can trust him to teach and protect him, with me there or not. We have an understanding, and we will not be playing favorites. They will have us both as fathers, and I think it will work out well. I still have responsibilities with the pack, and that is one thing that we cannot get around. It makes me really happy to know that our children, no matter how many we have, will all be well taken care of between us. I know that Justin wants to have a pup the next time around, and I also know that the goddess has big plans for us. Plans for us to grow our pack, and teach our children to fight as best they can. I will make sure they get the very best of training, and even more training in the area they excel in. They need to be taught as much as we can, to keep them all safe. I will take no chances with any of our pups. The hospital bed was raised a little for Raven before they gave the baby to her, and the nurse was giving her instructions on how to feed the baby. Warning her to not worry, that sometimes the baby doesn't take to it the first couple of times. Both Justin and I are excited to get to hold him, and I was getting the first try at it. I didn't know the baby was coming today, or I would have rescheduled the sparring to another day. The doctor had told me when he was bringing me back from the X-ray room, that it was probably the stress of me getting injured that resulted in her delivering the baby early. I was glad to hear his strong cry, which let me know that he was going to be okay. I watched as Justin stroked the baby's head carefully with the back of one finger, as the baby's head was on his side of the bed. I am moved that he is so careful with the baby. I am excited that it is my turn soon to be able to sit and hold him. Could you have someone bring in a chair for Brandon, please? That couch is very low and it will make it harder for him to stand. Raven asks the nurse, who immediately links someone to bring a chair in for me. I do want to sit and hold him. I will have to use my left arm, as my right is still hurt. But I am thrilled to be getting an opportunity to be able to hold my baby in my arms. I leaned down and kissed Raven on the top of her head, which brings out a smile from her. She was surprised and happy at my act. She was happy that Justin is happy with the baby too. The chair gets brought in, and I sit down to wait to hold the baby. Both Justin and I named the baby, names that have meaning to us. I was happy when my baby boy was placed carefully in my left arm. I lifted my right arm to touch his little cheek as Raven did, and it was so soft. I touched his silky hair too, and my touch made him open his eyes to focus on me. My baby, my son, our firstborn, and I was moved to tears again. He is absolutely perfect, and he will be a heartbreaker. I can already tell it. He looks just like me, but with more exotic coloring from his mother. Those green eyes are stunning, and I know our family will be so happy to see him reflect both his mother and me, in his appearance. I am already so in love with him. I put my pinky on his hand and feel him clamp down on my finger, already so strong. I cannot stop the grin that is plastered on my face as I look down at my son. I hate to let him go, but the nurse wants to clean him up and get him dressed. I was glad that I got some skin-to-skin contact too, as I still am not wearing my shirt. I didn't want to strain my arm to get it on. I will wear button-up shirts until it heals. Justin wasn't injury-free either. Some of the blows I landed caused bruises on him, so that made me happy too. He won this time. We will see next month who will win. I cannot be mad at Justin. He beat me at my own game. He has obviously taken some extra classes and knew what I was about to do. Thankfully I did see it coming and was able to take a step back, or he would have broken my ribs. The purpose of these sparring matches is the fact that we want people to be able to up their game and to want to fight better. The classes pick up about 15 to 20 wolves, male and female, with each sparring session. I do not want to scare people with the upcoming war. There would be a mass exodus from both our packs if they suspected a full-blown war. But we have time, and Cole never stopped looking for the Sullivans or the Peters families. If we can locate them, maybe we can take the war to them, and then they can get caught by surprise. That is the only downside to this, seeing my precious baby boy, just born, but with so much responsibility on his tiny shoulders. Raven is insistent that all of our children also have time to be children. We are building up the playground, and we will be putting in an Olympic-size pool. We will have it sectioned off, with a small area for babies and toddlers. A slightly deeper area for the children, going from 1 foot to almost 3 feet deep on the other end. The main area will be 3 feet on one end, and 10 feet on the other end. Stella loves to swim, and so does Raven. Raven has some money from her father and wanted to make up a nice area for families here. A place for them to be able to do more, in a safe place. She is building a large covered area for families to hold their children's birthday parties or cookouts. Grills, to cook out on, and several fire pits with benches all around them. It was a great idea, and the pack is looking forward to seeing it come to fruition. She also had a play area for the bigger kids in the works, as well as an archery area, over behind the training area with a large wall built behind it to catch the arrows that didn't hit their target. I told her that I would like to do the same for a gun range with at least 5 practice lanes in it. I would like an indoor one, as well as an outdoor one. They will have to graduate to shooting outdoors eventually, and we will have that done soon, with a wall built behind it too. But they will have to be leveled up by the trainer for them to be able to shoot outside. We have to keep the pack members safe. I glanced over mid-thought and see Justin holding the baby and speaking so softly to him, I could barely hear him from across the room. He is a big guy, but he is so gentle with the baby. He doesn't seem like the same guy who almost broke my ribs earlier today. He is usually very easygoing all the time unless he is fighting, or protecting Raven, and he becomes another person. He is a very tough fighter and a good man. I am glad that he is a member of our pack, and I know that I can trust him. I have been watching him this whole time. I didn't have a great opinion of him before. He was absolutely confrontational at Raven's party. Bold in claiming that he was going to try to get her back. I didn't know his backstory then, or why he was insistent on it, but I knew then he still loved her, even with their bond broken. I will never know why the goddess did it, but I know that he appreciates her restoring it. I know that he believes it is because he prayed to her every night, to return Raven to him, and it could have had something to do with it. I know that I am happy that she allowed me to not ruin the best thing to happen to me, by having Raven reject me for my behavior. Just seeing the tiny baby in his arms, made me realize that I probably looked the same way when I was holding him too. Raven is smiling at how sweet he is being with the baby. He is so careful, and I can see that when he said that he would treat my child as his own, he was not kidding at all. I get up to sit on the bed with Raven and put my arm around her and kissed the side of her head. I do not want to pull on her, after what she went through. I keep my left arm around her shoulders as Justin gently sways back and forth as he speaks to the baby. Welcome Jackson, we are so glad you are here. You will not be alone for long, you will get many brothers and sisters. You are just the most precious baby boy I have ever seen. You have a big name to grow into, little one. I named you Jackson, which means to heal, or healer. Your dad named you Conal, which means strong wolf, and you are. I can feel how strong you are, little alpha. I am going to call you Jax, Justin cooed at Jackson. Jackson was giving him a smile that we could see as he got closer to us and reluctantly gave Jackson back to Raven. We had a few more minutes together before I heard a knock on the door, and my parents came in, followed by Alpha Cole, and Luna Olivia. Raven's brothers were right behind them, with Simone. Alpha Cole had a vase of flowers, and so did Luna Olivia. I saw Raven take one look at them and gave a bright smile. They all came over to look at little Jax, and they all wanted to hold him. I can see my mom tearing up at my having a twin. Dad is proud too. When the baby got to Alpha Cole, I could see the tears when baby Jax looked back at him with those same green eyes. Olivia was pressed into Cole's side and she was immediately in love too. I can see Raven's brothers trying to patiently wait, but Simone finally walked over and sat next to Cole and Olivia, and they grudgingly passed the baby off. Simone was enraptured by Jax, and cooed to him constantly, with Carter right behind her smiling down at the baby. I know that they are getting ready to be parents soon, and I know they are wondering if the baby will look similar. Austin was the last in line, and he rarely speaks, but he told the baby, "I am your Uncle Austin, if you need anything, you come to me. I will always have your back, just like I have your mom's back too," which made Raven beam with happiness. Nurses came back to change his diaper, and the men walked out as they were going to try to let Jax nurse again. He did better this time and managed to latch on to her. I was so proud of him. He learns so quickly for just a baby. Emerald was preening with pride over her baby, and Axe was just as excited as she was. Raven was covered again, and when the men came back, Stella and Truette were with them. Stella was so excited to see the baby and was so excited as she waited for her turn to hold him, as he got passed around again. Raven nodded off, and Justin was holding her hand as he sat on the side of the bed. I sat next to my parents in the chair I put at the end of the couch, as they held Jax again. I made sure my bad arm was away from everyone as I watched my baby make the rounds again. Dad patted me on the back and told me, "Good job son," and the pride in his voice was not lost on me. I now know how he feels about us, and it is so much more than I thought it would be. I knew I would love him completely, but I know pure love now, that I never fully understood before. My baby boy has changed me for the better. I want to be a better father, a better mate, a better alpha, and a better son because of it. I also have an idea that I would like to present to Justin, and I motion for him to follow me out into the hallway. Since Raven has been sleeping between us the last 2 weeks, I have slept better. I know she has too, and I believe that you have as well. Knowing that it isn't just me protecting her, but you too. I was thinking that if you are up to it, we can close off your room, with a steel emergency door, that can only be opened from the inside. We can turn it into a nursery. They can have other rooms on the alpha floor when they get to be bigger. But I was thinking seriously about us all just getting a bigger bed, and sleeping in the same room, with each other, every night. I know it cannot just be me that misses her terribly on the night off. I would like for it to never be a night off for either of us again. I was going to run it by you first, as I believe that Raven would be very happy to stay with us both each night, I said to Justin. I can see the surprise at my offer and then he frowns as he puts thought into it. I cannot speak for him, but even with throwing myself into work, and working late on his night, I still miss her. I do that so I can be able to get to spend quality time on my night with Raven. He has to feel the same way when it is my night, and he is alone. I want her to have us both available to her, to not have assigned nights, as Raven loves us both. She doesn't have a favorite, and she looks forward to spending time with us both. Especially at meals, she hides it, but I can feel her sadness when we separate from each other. Having us both around her at the end of the pregnancy, she was glowing the whole time in happiness. Justin does the thoughtful things so well. When Cole entered he carried flowers, and so did Luna Olivia. I thought that they had bought them both, but he had asked them to stop and pick up his order on their way here. They grabbed some roses while they were there, and the little thoughtful things like that, are things that Raven appreciates. He thought of that, of her, while she was in labor, for her to have something that she would see and make her happy while she was here. Plus the scent filled the room. She was immediately pleased when she saw them. That is what he does, he thinks of ways to bring a smile to her face. We three are already in this together. I think his room will be better served for protecting our pups, and our room being just for us. When they get older, we can figure out something else, but for right now, I think this is a good option for us. Are you sure, Brandon? I don't want to intrude, but I can tell she missed you when it is my night. I know she probably misses me on your night. I would do anything to keep her happy. I think having a secure door, like that, to be used in an emergency is a great idea to keep our pups safe. I am good with it, if Raven is, she is my primary concern, Justin tells me. I said, yes, you are more thoughtful than I am, but you know that I love her too, Justin. I believe that this will make her happier, and we can both keep her safe. I am also installing more security features and I am promoting Helen from Lead Omega to Alpha Omega, to help with the pups. She is the only person I really trust, other than my family, the beta couple, with our pups' lives, other than you and Raven. I just wanted to run it by you first, and I will start making the changes to the room. I will have it painted, and his bed built and put in our room with her other surprise, and I will order us a bigger bed. You ordered flowers, and I researched beds, the baby's bed, and a rocker for Raven. I found a good bed, I will be ordering us an Alaskan king-size bed. I want to make Raven happy too. I may not be as thoughtful as you clearly are, but I love her just as much as you do. She is bound to us both, and I would do anything to make her smile. I know you do, that was very thoughtful and observant about us all sleeping together at night. I saw she was a little stressed at having to go back and forth, even though it is just to a nearby room. I know what she was feeling. When it is concerning your mate, you want them near you, close to you. I am good with it, thanks Brandon for doing this. I know this is hard, and we are getting there, but I imagine we still have a way to go before we get where we need to be, Justin said, and I nodded. We do indeed, but this is a great first step and I stepped away to order the bed. I can have it installed, and the baby's room painted white for him for when he gets older. He can sleep in our room until he gets to about 3 months old, and then we can let him move into the next room. Whatever it takes to make Raven happy, that is what I will always do for her, and I think that this will make her very happy. Chapter 79 Reagan's POV. I packed up all my stuff, as I am now banished from Black Moon. Mom kept crying about losing both her babies now, just like she pined for Raven when we lost her a while back. She only had me now, and she should have just said baby, not mourned us, plural. I couldn't stand her lumping me in with Raven anyway. She took Justin away, and they were probably off living a happy life. That was the worst part. I will be going to this new pack, and not know anyone, or be able to really defend myself. I thought I was good here and didn't train as hard as I should have. I am toast now, and will really have to apply myself at the new place. By that, I mean wrapping that alpha Aaron around my finger. I had time, and I need to be either his Luna or his beta's chosen mate. I still have my phone and can call Mom and Dad, but right now, they cannot help me at all. Dad sank a lot into building his and Mom's home and then decorating it. They will not have any available funds to be able to make my life easier until the next quarter, which is 3 months away. They really overextended, but as Dad told me after he hugged me just outside Blake's office, who knew you were dumb enough to try this again? Worked out just like the last time, didn't it? He can save it. He just insulted me by comparing me to Raven last night, and I wasn't going to have it. He is on my list right now. He hasn't helped me at all, not like he should have. He can just keep his mouth shut. He basically called me the bad child. The lesser child, and I was his own flesh and blood, and he told me to my face that Raven was better than me. I have never been more offended by something my dad said to me. I can still feel the rage that tore through me at hearing him say that. This whole problem was because of Raven. I am in this because of her. This is all her fault. I just wanted my birthright, to be Luna of Silver Blade. That was it, and yet, she just wouldn't step down, or step aside. She believed Dad when he said that the twin who got their mate first, would inherit the pack. That was dumb of her to be so trusting. You can't trust anyone. Case in point, Dad should have got me out of this, and I looked up at myself in the bathroom mirror. My face is twisted in fury, and I look horrid. I close my eyes and forced myself to calm down. Nothing can be gained by looking like this. I packed up all my beauty supplies and took the unopened ones in the closet too. Mom can get more, I am sure Dad can at least manage that. I will tell Mom to make sure I can at least take care of my face while there. I rinsed my mouth out in the sink. My mouth was dry because I know Blake. Where I am going is probably one step up from a redneck compound. This is going to be a hard life. He wouldn't have called him to let me be able to continue to live in luxury. He knew exactly what he was doing. Killing me would be quick, too quick. He wanted me to suffer. To have to get along with them, knowing that if my foot slipped, they could go ahead and kill me. I will have already dodged the sentence that he was going to carry out today, so every following day is just a bonus, or in this case, a life sentence. I have to grab the sink, as I feel sick thinking of my new role again. Why? Why did I even try it? It didn't work the last time, and I knew Blake was ruthless. Dad was right, that was really stupid on my part. I remember what he did to that Sierra girl, and she had been his girlfriend for years. He cared about Cheryl, his pup, and his team, that was it. That was the only reason he even stopped to listen to me, was when I lied and said that her pup belonged to the warrior. That and only that was what got his attention. He stopped so suddenly that I ran into his back. I just wanted to get to sleep with him, maybe carry his heir, and solidify my spot in the pack. I may not be his chosen, but I would still have value in carrying his child. I have seen it at other packs, and my own father's women carried a certain untouchable status in the pack because they were his. That was all I wanted, a safety net. I don't want to be a servant, and I certainly didn't want to be a breeder, but I also didn't want to die today. I can make this work for me. They were all interested in me. I will make this work for me, there is no can in this. I will get this done, and I acknowledged that it may take me a while. I really only wanted to have a pup or two with Justin, but I will do this, and I will get my revenge. As long as I can make them happy, and be useful to them, I will have value for them, I will be fine. Maybe not as a chosen mate, but even girlfriends have the ear of who they are with. No matter what I have to do, I will get Raven back for me having to submit myself like this. I can think of no greater shame than being forced into being a breeder. That was why he let me live. He knew the cushy life I led, and I knew the second they accepted me, that my cushy life was completely over. Their clothes were clean and looked fairly new, but not expensive, just functional. Even the people here dressed better, so I know that it is about to be a st show there, and a big step down. I cannot even fathom what it is going to be like there. Goddess, I am so pissed off. I grabbed a candle to throw at the mirror, and a hand reached out to grab it from me. Haven't you done enough damage here? I heard behind me and turned to see Cheryl standing there with the candle in her hand. Here to gloat? I asked her. Yes, actually. I was going to run away, with the heir, but Blake took care of the problem. I can stay now, and be able to trust him now that you are out of here. I really wished you had decided on death though. I would have liked to carry that sentence out myself. I hope you don't obey them, and they kill you. They are ruthless too. I just heard that from Blake himself after the meeting. That doesn't bode well for you now, does it? You cannot help yourself, Reagan. You cannot keep from making crazy plans, and trying to ruin people's lives. You don't care about anyone but yourself. I would wish you well, but we are nothing to each other anymore. I will never see you again, you will never see Blake again. Aaron will have to come here for anything that Blake needs to deal with. I hope that you get what is coming to you. You are due for the goddess to get you back, and that is the only thing that I am sorry for. I am sorry that I won't get to see you get what you deserve in person. If I hadn't stepped in to stop her, you would have gotten what you deserved with Sierra. I am kicking myself for stopping her now. That may have been the goddess's punishment there. Hopefully, she will get it done at Blood Tracker. I look forward to hearing what happens to you there, Cheryl said to me while looking at me in the mirror. I didn't make you protect me. You did that on your own. I will be fine, you know that I always land on my feet. I will have them all wrapped around my finger in a year's time. You are just mad that Blake wanted a taste of this, instead of you. You are not as valuable as I am, just like my sister was. I am a true alpha, born from 2 alpha parents. I am strong, and my pups will be strong. It will be impossible for them to get no feelings for me, as I provide pups for them. They will eventually grow to have feelings for me, and then I will get what I deserve. Raven can enjoy herself now, but one day, I will have the last laugh. I will be in the position of power, and I will make her suffer, I told Cheryl. I see her standing there with her mouth open looking at me. You are much further gone than even I imagined. You are completely delusional. Raven didn't do anything to either one of us. You took her mate from her. You had to drug him to do it and drug him to mark you too. You lost your true mate from greed, and your second chance you lost because of your treatment of your own blood sister. Yes, half-sister, but still blood nonetheless. I was wrong too, trying to make Brandon take me as his chosen. He never liked me, and I was a little delusional too in my obsession with him. I did wrong, but I am making up for it. You are just careening down the path of crazy still, and you are filled with poison. I will have to remind Aaron of how you are again before he leaves. You cannot be allowed to have any kind of power there. Your thirst for things that are not yours, and some kind of misplaced vengeance, are troubling. Truly frightening to me, and I am concerned for your children now. You are clearly losing yourself, and your madness is growing. Please do not poison your babies' minds. If you put my pups in danger, Reagan, so help me, I will kill you myself. I will not hesitate to do it. You need to really think before you go off on another tangent here. Do not do something that will endanger us all. I swear to you, if you do, and we find out about it, you will die in a very bad way. I can guarantee that Cheryl told me, and I could not stop the laugh from escaping. You will look for anything to try to stop me from getting back with Blake, won't you? I will get him again, it is a matter of time before he wants to taste me again. Don't come getting mad at me for it, when it does happen. He is a man, and men are all easily led, I told her with a smug smile on my face. You are forgetting one thing, Reagan. You don't have your stash of drugs anymore, Reagan. You can't take the choice out of their hands now, so whatever will you do? You will really have to work for the tiniest bit of affection now. Good luck with that. Aaron and his men are not known for being kind and cuddly, nor stupid. No one will be falling for your so-called charms anymore, honey, Cheryl said as she turned her back on me and walked away. I am not through with talking to you, I yelled after her and followed her out of the bathroom. I know, but I am through talking to you. I said what I needed to, we are done here. I won't wish you well, Reagan, you crossed a line last night, and aren't even smart enough to realize that you did it to yourself. You always want to blame Raven for everything, but the fact is, it was you. You made your choices, every step of the way, and you caused her a lot of pain and grief in her life. You put yourself here, you put all of us here, from your own actions. You are not smart enough to leave things alone, and as a nod to our former friendship, I will tell you this. Stop. Just stop whatever your horrible little mind has cooked up as a plan for Blood Tracker. Just keep your head down, do what is asked of you, and realize that you are 100% of the reason that you are there. No one else is to blame for your own actions, she called back at me from the door. I saw Garrett and Travis standing there with my parents in the living room waiting to escort her back. They heard the whole thing in the bathroom, and Garrett is smiling at my anger, as he could not stand me from the start. My mother is clearly upset, and my dad's lips are pursed in a line. He told me to stop too, and he could hear from what I said, that I was not going to. I feel bad that Travis heard what I had said about men being easy to lead. I have been leading him, and from the look on his face, he was aware of it now. He is disappointed in me, and I can feel his anger and sadness coming off of him in waves now. I almost had him, and I am sure he is just as upset as I am at the turn this has taken. He is the last one to exit, and he looked back at me, and I can see the pain and disappointment on his handsome face. I bet he tried to step in on my behalf, with Blake. Maybe I can link him, and see if he will meet me halfway between the packs, so we can visit. But I immediately shoot that down. I am sure the new pack will want me to be with them and provide them heirs, not some for Travis. I will have to give birth at least once a year. I can use my birth control until I can get the best candidate identified for that. The two ranked wolves with Aaron seemed the most interested in me at the meeting. Blake won't be hearing me out or giving me a pass on this. We both saw how hurt Cheryl was last night as she felt his actions with me. Him seeing her on the ground like that, in clear pain, and the baby being so adversely affected by his actions, immediately took half his anger at her away. Once he realized what had happened, he reacted quickly, and Garrett and Mark have always not liked me since I got here. They were only too glad to take me down to the cells. I think that Garrett was looking forward to killing me today. But like Cheryl said, I would have bet money that she would have been the one to want to do it, with Blake right there with her. I shudder at the thought of it. She was furious with me, and she knows my tricks. She was right, it had been stupid on my part to even try this right now. I am too impatient. I should have waited until she was about to give birth as an option for him to use, while she is recovering from giving birth to their pup. He would have been hard up, and more willing to accept me. Get him to do it a couple of times, for him to feel less guilty about the whole thing, allowing me to be his girlfriend. A lot of alphas do just that, but by the time she figured it out, it would have been a done deal. I swear I will put better thought into what I am doing from now on. I am not stupid, I can make better plans. I can make things work out in my own best interest. I will wait and see what exactly I am dealing with when I get there. I am sure that they will give me a rundown of what is expected of me, in the vehicle on the way there. I will gather information and then make a plan. Then I will step back, and try to pick it apart from all the angles. I cannot fail again. This is my last chance. If this goes sideways, I could be put to death right then, unless I was pregnant. Then they will either wait for the pup to be born, or kill me right then if they consider it to be a bad enough act. I need to remember that I was born to be a strong Luna. That is my birthright and my heritage. Raven didn't get all the luck, I have some too. I will use it to my advantage and make this new opportunity work out as best as I can. I collected my stuff and Mom and Dad walked me down to the front of the pack house. Dad helped me carry my suitcases, and he seemed to be thinking all the way down to the first floor, as Mom spoke to me, and tried to comfort me. The men were all talking when I exited the pack house. Cheryl exited the pack house right after me. I am quite sure that she was waiting on me to come out, so she could watch me leave. I gave my stuff to the two men with Alpha Aaron, and Mom and Dad kissed me goodbye. I can hear Cheryl tell Aaron, she may not look like much, but she is spiteful and vindictive. She will try to trick you, all of you, and get away with whatever she can. I was friends with her, and she burnt me too, trying to take my mate away from me. She is evil, and you would do well to not trust her. Never forget that she is a liar and troublemaker. She will sow discord in your pack, please be vigilant and watchful. She can never be trusted. I got tricked myself, Aaron, and I knew that she was going to be a problem from the start. Even with my men watching out for her, she managed to get me into a bad situation. She will try to get with you, Aaron, she wants that Luna position. So keep trying to find your mate, and please do better than me. Get your Luna with child, do not let Reagan carry the heir to the pack. Allow your men to get her pregnant first, she may look innocent but remember that video, she is very experienced. She is a manipulative BH, that will stop at nothing to get her own agenda to play out. She is much more conniving than I can express to you, be alert and on guard, Aaron. She will try to take a shot, and I don't want you getting burnt the same way that I did. They searched her room and didn't find any more drugs, but you never know, she could have had 2 stashes. I would check her luggage before you let her unpack. You are my family, and I want the best for you, Blake told him, and what they had just said about me, was really offensive. I meant what I said, Reagan. I will help the blood tracker pack out. I will get Aaron additional land for him to grow his pack up too. Maybe they can purchase the land between Blake's pack and Aaron's, so we can meet in the middle to see you as much as possible. Maybe build a little cabin there on Aaron's land for us to have meals and visit. Just please, Reagan, listen to me. All of your plans have fallen short. Do not do anything that will piss Aaron off, he is just as dangerous as Blake is. He is older and less likely to be manipulated. I can feel his power, his pack may be small, but he is serious about growing it and getting strong pups in it. Getting him additional land will play in your favor. We can make this work long term, just play along until we can make this work out the optimum way for you. We cannot be there to protect you, you will be fully alone, and you have to know that this will not be easy. You are my baby girl, and I want what is best for you, but you have to listen to them. You are on borrowed time now, Blake was absolutely going to kill you. It took a long time, and extra negotiations to get him to even allow this. I had to pay him to rescue you, that is why I am broke. It wasn't the house, it was having to give him $250,000 to spare your life. Blake and Cheryl both wanted you dead. Do not do anything that would result in them having to kill you. It would kill your mother to lose you both. She still misses Raven very much, my dad tells me, and he has me almost crying with what he did. I am shocked at what he said. He really did help me, or I would have died this morning. They do hate me, and the realization of my situation really hits me. Dad had to pay for me to become a breeder, the she-wolves that are considered to be bought and paid for. The fact that Dad had to pay to even get me there lets me know that after we left, they kept talking. Cheryl even said it in the bathroom. She knows just how bad my life is going to be there, and she is happy about it. She knew I grew up with a silver spoon, and she is really looking forward to me getting a real taste of just how unpleasant life is going to be from now on. Well, that may be. I may be in for a world of hurt. But I am much stronger than she realizes. I will come out on top, and I will find a way for them to be involved too, as my payback to her for forcing me to become a breeder. Cheryl and Blake think that they have beaten me, and forced me down. They are wrong. They will see me again, and I will hit them where it hurts them the most. I just need to figure out how to get that done. I have nothing else to lose now, so why not take my time, and come up with my best plan ever. Chapter 80 Reagan's POV. I kissed both my parents goodbye. I know that I will not be seeing them for a while, but I know that Dad will take care of me. He always comes through for me, and I am glad that he loves me like he does. They both love me and doted on me my whole life. They valued me the most, and my heart is breaking as the reality that I have no one, really hits me. I have never had to be alone, to have just myself to depend on, and it is not a good feeling to have. I am crying real tears and seeing that the whole ranked team, with the exception of Travis, is happy at me realizing the situation that I am in. I get in the back seat, with Alpha Aaron, and the men get up front. I am sure he is going to lay some ground rules out for me. I was absolutely sure of it. He waited as we navigated the now paved road out of Black Moon. The pack had greatly improved since we arrived here a little over 3 months ago. The road was now wide enough for 2 vehicles to pass each other and not get on the grass anymore. Blake was very proud of the improvements that had been made in the pack. I assumed that his goodwill at all that Dad had done had included me in his being happy. I was stunned to find out that it had not. He had ignored me at every turn. I thought I had a chance that first night. He had flirted right back at me. But after that showdown with Sierra, he only had eyes for Cheryl after that. He wanted a strong Luna, and I would be one. I could be one. I just wasn't a fighter. You didn't have to be a warrior to be a Luna. We were not supposed to fight, it really depended on the pack itself. My mother had not been trained to fight. We were supposed to protect the pack by loving them, taking care of them, and doing our own special job duties to take care of the pack. I was supposed to help get the women and children to safety in case of an attack. I was good with all of that. I wasn't planning on getting ripped, and fighting alongside my mate. That was also the reason for taking a chosen mate, instead of my real mate. You could die if your true mate died. You are much less likely to do so if you had a chosen mate. You could live on, and find another chosen later on, the bond was just less strong unless you really fell in love with your chosen. As soon as we hit the highway, I watched the direction that we were going, so I could find my way back if I needed to see my parents. I would just stay outside the gate, so they wouldn't kill me. I don't know how this thing at Blood Tracker is going to go, and I needed to keep my head on the swivel, for at least the first month. None of them could be trusted as far as I was concerned. I needed to make this work, but I already know that the deck was stacked against me. Blake and Cheryl will never let me get a pass on what I did. They want me to fail, and they are about to find out just how stubborn and strong I truly am. So, Reagan, I am Alpha Aaron. My Gamma, Clive Connor, is driving, and my Delta, Michael Danes, is in front of me. I hear you have been up to a few things in my cousin Blake's pack. I want to speak to you about what is expected of you at Blood Tracker, Aaron told me. Yes, I expected this, knew it was coming. I will play along. He wants to flex, and I will let him. I catch Clive giving me another look in the rearview mirror and then giving me a wink. So Clive is already on board with me, and Michael has been sneaking looks at my legs several times so far, trying to be stealthy. I am just wearing plain shorts and a t-shirt, and I guess I look good to him. I had showered to wash the cell smell off me from last night as soon as I got to the room. I was clean, and they both had reacted to me when I exited the pack house at Blood Moon. I am not getting excited, because I don't know the setup at Blood Tracker. They could both have girlfriends or mates, that would like nothing more than to kick my ass once we get there. I need to be careful here and wait. Yes, nice to meet you. I guess I do have a reputation that precedes me. I tried to laugh it off a little, but after the warning that they got, and knowing that Garrett was speaking to both Clive and Michael outside, they know full well how much I was despised by him at Blood Moon. The only thing that I can do now, is downplay it. That is my only option here. You will not be getting a free ride here. I am not a taskmaster, but even though you will help us create strong pups, you will still have to help out. You will no longer have the free life of laying around and doing whatever you want. My pack is only about 343 wolves, 344 with you coming. I know you heard what Blake said, about your alpha blood helping us achieve that very purpose. He was serious about wanting you dead. I had to pay him some money for you, Aaron said, and that caught me by surprise. Blake managed to get paid on both ends and had basically sold me to Aaron. That I didn't know, and it left a bad taste in my mouth. You said you paid him, that is odd. My dad paid him too, to not kill me. A great deal of money. Dad is planning on doing the same for you. He mentioned to me before I left that if I get treated well, that he will help you get additional land. He specifically mentioned land between what he just bought, Blake, and your own pack, if you would be interested in that. It will help you to achieve your goal, of more pack members, and a bigger pack, I told him, and gave him a small smile to see if he got what I was throwing down. That particular deal that I was mentioning, was absolutely conditional on my being treated well. He got it, and smirked. Of course, that would be wonderful. You won't be working all day and night. You can pick what you want to do to help out at the pack. But we all work there, even the warriors help out. They help in the garden, and even in the kitchen. I heard you do not train very much, and that will be changing too. I require all my pack members to be able to defend themselves well. As an alpha she-wolf, you should catch on quickly and probably even excel at it. I will let you have a day or two before you decide where you want to work, but rest assured, you will be working. We all do, we chip in because we are all working together to make our pack as strong as it can be. You will only be exempt from training when you reach 4 months pregnant. You can do a modified training from 3 to 4 months, we don't want to hurt you, or the baby. But we take our training seriously, Aaron said, and was proud to talk about the pack. So you will indeed be using me to strengthen your pack? I asked, and felt eyes on me, to see Clive smirking at me in the mirror again. Oh yes, he wants the first go-round, but I am not committing to anyone until I know what is going on at Blood Tracker. I remember Sierra trying to attack me, and I shudder at the thought of that multiplied by potentially 4 she-wolves for these ranked wolves. So you will indeed be using me to strengthen your pack? I asked and felt eyes on me, to see Clive smirking at me in the mirror again. Oh yes, he wants the first go-round, but I am not committing to anyone until I know what is going on at Blood Tracker. I remember Sierra trying to attack me, and I shudder at the thought of that multiplied by potentially 4 she-wolves for these ranked wolves. Yes, indeed we do plan on it. None of my men have been able to get their girlfriends pregnant, and none of us have met our mates. I have been looking for mine, for a while now. I haven't found her yet, and unfortunately for you, that means that I am off limits to you until I do find her. I will let her know of the arraignment, and if needed we can do my child with you in vitro, so she won't feel the pain of betrayal with it. But my Beta, Gamma, and Delta are all unmated wolves. You can choose who you want to start with yourself. No one will be forcing themselves on you unless we have to do that to get you to comply with your new role. But you will produce an heir for all 3 of them. Hopefully, by that point, I will have found my mate, and can also get additional heirs from both you and her. My mate will carry the heir to my pack, not you. You can help create the other children, but not my heir. I have seen your work with my own eyes, we all have in fact, and each of my men is willing and able to want you to carry their young. That video was the very reason that we were willing to cough up the funds to have you, that and the strong pups you will provide. Aaron told me and looked at me to let me know he knew exactly what I looked like naked. That stupid video was the worst idea that I have ever had. I wish to the goddess that I had never done it. Dad was right. If I had left it alone, I would still be at Silver Blade right now, out shopping, or driving my car. Man, I miss that car. What exactly do you need for me to do in the pack? I do not know how to cook, I have never tried to. I do not know what I could possibly do to help, other than carry the ranked wolves pups, I told Aaron, with a completely serious face. Again I feel Clive's eyes on me, and he gives me a smirk this time. I see Michael sneaking a look again at me, and this time his eyes raise up to mine. I can clearly see the lust he has for me in them, and although they are both good-looking strong men, I don't want to sleep with them. I like to choose who I sleep with, and of the 3 of them, it would be Aaron. Not just because he is the alpha. It is because he is the strongest, and most attractive of them all. Hopefully, the beta is hot, that would help, but I guess it could be worse. They could all be ugly, and that would really be the very worst option. All women want the best options for a father for their children. The best protector, the most attractive. It isn't just me, a lot of women like that, it is ingrained in our DNA. To want to produce the strongest babies that we can, and of course, we want them to be attractive too. That reminds me that I had heard that Raven was pregnant with Brandon's baby. That is probably the reason that he didn't hurt her after my video, because she carried his heir. I swear that BH has all the luck. She has 2 of the most attractive wolves that I have ever seen. I managed to get Justin myself, and he was very good in bed, even with his first time. I missed him, I wanted him still. I have to stop thinking about him. I closed my eyes to calm myself down and felt the SUV swerve a little. My eyes fly up to meet Clive's in the mirror and see that his smirk is gone, and his eyes went from brown to black. His wolf is now present, and he has a very tight grip on the wheel. You cannot blame him for that, we can all smell your arousal, little wolf. We are just men, and that scent is very hard to ignore, Aaron said, and his wolf is peeking out at me too. I looked at Michael, and his eyes are fierce as he stares back at me. He is having a hard time not reaching out to touch me. I was thinking about my former mate. I am sorry, I told them, and growls sprang from all 3 of them. That was the wrong thing to say. I need to get their attention off of the arousal that is still in the air, and on to something else. Won't your girlfriends be angry over me coming in and taking you away from them? I asked them. I see Aaron smile at the change of subject and look up at the front seats at the two members of his unit, waiting for them to answer. I am not with anyone right now. I no longer have a girlfriend. She found her mate while in the city, and she went to his pack, Clive said, and he seemed sad at the loss. I don't have a girlfriend, just a regular, but she has not gotten pregnant yet, and we need to get the pack built up with strong blood. I cannot wait to get to know you better, Michael said to me, and his intentions were clear. If no one else stopped him, the Delta was going to be the first to take me. His intentions were obvious in his gaze, and he had big plans for me. I find myself hoping that Clive will protect me, and I glanced back at the mirror to see him looking at me again. She isn't going to attack me, is she? I asked Michael in fear. I have no idea, I would hope not. We are not supposed to attack members of our own pack, but she is a fighter, so you never know, Michael said with a grin. I can feel the blood rush out of my face. This is going to be worse than I thought. I already told you that I do not have a mate, but I do have a jealous girlfriend. I do not mind betting you too, but I will use protection with you until my heir is here. I already told you that I want my mate to carry my child, and produce the heir to the pack. I am fair game too, but my girlfriend is a warrior, and she will in all honesty probably take a shot at you. I will make sure that they know that your face is off limits. You are a rare beauty, and I will not allow someone to mar you like that. You will train, and you will learn to protect yourself soon enough. Maybe they will give you an incentive for you to be willing to learn how to spar, and defend, Aaron said, and my heart sank. I am in for a world of hurt from those women. Maybe I should stick with Clive first, he would be my safest bet, and he is clearly just as interested in me, as Michael is. They all are, and I feel like I need to ask about the beta, just so I can make an informed decision. And your beta, does he have a girlfriend? I asked Aaron. He does, and she doesn't like sharing either. Aaron's laughter rings out in the vehicle. He knew where I was going with it, and Clive's smile got even bigger. He knew too and winked at me in the mirror. He knew it as well as I did. For the moment, he was a clear choice while I learned to defend and protect myself. I wonder if the pack knows why I am coming, and that would be the worst case scenario. How shameful to be known as the pack breeder. Everyone will be looking down on me, and I feel the tears coming back to my eyes. I swear I will remember every single pain I get from this, and pass it on to Raven. She is the reason that I am here. Yes, I made some bad choices, but she refused to back down, and admit defeat on being the next Luna of Silver Blade. I am here because she didn't know her proper place. I was the heir, and it was mine, it had been since birth. Just because she wasn't aware of it, didn't mean I didn't find out, after I tried to kill her. Dad wanted me to calm down, to leave her alone, to know that it was always coming to me, since the day we were born. Ah, beauty, don't be so sad. You get to be with us, and we are not bad guys. We will take good care of you. You don't have to be scared, you just need to learn that you don't get to just exist anymore. You will have to work just like the rest of us, and when playtime comes around, do not worry, we will take even better care of you, Clive said, and at the end, I could hear the timbre of his voice lower, as his wolf started to come out. He wants me, and since he is the only one who doesn't have a girlfriend, he will probably be the father of my first pup. I have been on birth control since I started having S*X at 16, so almost 2.5 years. This won't be instant pregnancy, even if I stopped taking them today. I liked him calling me beauty, and that gave him bonus points, but it is hard going from being doted on, to being a servant overnight. I don't know how to do anything. I never had to cook, clean, or do my own laundry. Even if I had been given an option, I wouldn't have chosen to do it. I will need to sort this quickly, as I need to have it set in stone before I exit the vehicle. We have been driving for 20 minutes, so I know we are getting close to his pack now. What are my options for the pulling my own weight mean? I am the daughter of an alpha, I have never had to cook, clean, do laundry, or anything else. I hate having to ask, but I don't want to have even more people against me than I already have. I want to do as you have asked, and I do want to comply with your wishes. I just seriously don't know what I can do to help out at your pack. I looked at Aaron and told him. Don't worry, beauty, I got you. I already know you don't want to get your A*S handed to you by the jealous she-wolves in the pack. I help in our garden as my part. It will be a good thing, you can sun, and I can show you how to pull weeds, water, and how long you need to water each one. I will have you getting a green thumb in no time. That way I can also start training you in self-defense too. I can assure you, when and if you move on to the next guy, you are going to need it. You can stay with me in my house, and that should protect you enough from the others. I will be with you when we work and train. They may make comments, but it is because they will be jealous of you. You will be, hands down, the most beautiful she-wolf in our pack, and that won't endear you to the others. You are pretty big competition. I just lost my girlfriend last month, and I was still deciding who would replace her. I had my eye on 2 she-wolves, but lucky for you I hadn't let them know they were even in the running. I am free and clear to be with just you, and protect you, Clive announced to the vehicle, and I can hear Aaron's low laughter. Aaron already knew that I was going to have a hard time, from the get-go because of the situation. He was not going to allow me to be defended, and I was suddenly very thankful for Clive. He knew I was scared, he was probably watching me the bulk of the time coming back. As the Gamma, he would be the most in tune with me anyway. That was the Gamma's job in the pack, to soothe the Luna, protect her, and help train. As a Luna, despite my official title being stripped from me when we had to run from Silver Blade, he still felt it, he felt me, and my feelings. He is offering to help, and I gave him a hard look in the mirror as he slowed down and expertly turned into the pack. He was handsome, with a square jaw, streaked blonde hair that tells me that he spent a lot of time in the sun, and soft brown eyes. Yes, our children would all be blonde and cute as they could be. I can work with this, and then started to look around at the scenery passing by us. I need to know which way to run if this thing goes south for me. Chapter 81 Reagan's POV. The turn-off for the pack looked like a boring old dirt road, that no one would look at twice. Pretty smart making it hide in plain sight. I was glad to see that after we hit the forest about a quarter of a mile in, the road was paved coming into their pack. That was something. Maybe this wouldn't be absolutely horrible, although I am almost positive it will be. I see the pack house rise up in front of us, and see the same log cabin type building as they had at Black Moon. It was 4 stories high, just not as long as the one at Black Moon. That made sense. Black Moon had more than double the pack members, as Aaron did. But the pack looked well cared for and maintained. I could see several pack members out and about, some planting fall flowers as it is now the middle of October, and they all looked up at our arrival with interest. I see a big guy exit the pack house, closely followed by 3 she-wolves. They lined up near the bottom of the steps, and I can already tell the women standing there are pissed. These have got to the beta, and the ranked wolf's girlfriends. So, I guess Aaron told him we were here, and show would start early. Great, something else for me to look forward to. The SUV stops, and Clive glances up at me in the mirror and smiled to try to calm me down. I am trying to settle my nerves, but that is not going to work right now. I see the beta's girlfriend with his hand firmly grasped in hers, to show that he belongs to her. I used to love it when girls wanted to show ownership of their men to me. I did enjoy playing with them, just to show how easy it was to take them away from them. This situation is different. I am here for a purpose, and they will know that sooner or later, I will be with their man. They will be pissed, and this is going to go over like a lead balloon. I can see from their expressions that they are itching for a fight with me, and right now, I am basically defenseless. I have got no protection right now, and I can tell that today, and probably for the next month, things are going to be really tough on me here. Michael and Aaron exited the vehicle and the other two women immediately latch onto them, to show me that they are taken. Their issue isn't with me, maybe they need to rein their men in better. They are the ones interested in me, not vice versa. You ready, beauty? Clive asks me with a smile. No, but there is nothing that I can do about it. It is either this, or be put to death, and right now it looks like I made the wrong choice, I reply. He gave a laugh at my comment and then smiled at me again in the mirror. He got out of the SUV first and opens my door to take my hand firmly in his. I appreciate that his doing this for me is his way of laying his claim on me. It may help to keep these three she-wolves off of me, for at least a little while. Aaron is smirking at how possessive his girlfriend is over him, as she already considered me a threat, sight unseen. I follow behind Clive as we walked around the front of the SUV, to approach the group at the bottom of the stairs. The women all stiffen up with their first really good look at me, and as expected, they all hated me on the spot. I was prepared for this. Raven and I both looked just like our mother. She has excellent genes and a stunning face. Even as she approaches 40, she still looks like she is 30. I know how men, both human and wolves, have reacted to seeing her my whole life. She captures interest wherever she goes, even to this day. I am positive that she will continue to age gracefully, and goddess willing, I will too. Their narrowed eyes tell me that they have already heard what my reason for being here in this pack is, and they do not like it or accept it. That is not on me though, it was this or death, and from some of the looks I am being given by them, they would like to kill me too. I am Darren Rogers, beta of the Blood Tracker pack. I would like to welcome you to our pack. I see that you will be staying with Clive, for the time being, the beta tells me, and I nod to him at the welcome. He is looking at our joined hands, and he is not pleased with me deciding that the gamma is the way to go. I am not ready to fight people yet, so yes, Clive is the clear winner for now. I see him step down from the last step and start to head toward me when he is pulled back by his girlfriend. I see the moment he pulls his hand out of the grip of the girl at his side, his hand had wild lines on it, which means she had a death grip on it. She was angry at his clear interest in me. He has light brown hair, blue eyes, and a strong jawline. He is very attractive, and I see his girlfriend turn to glare at him. Giving the same displeased look she had just been giving me, to him now. His pulling away from her was a slap in her face, and we all saw it. He clearly wanted to distance himself from her the minute he got a good look at me. I can feel his attention staying on me. He makes no effort at all to hide this fact, as his eyes glide over my body. This is not helping the matter, as all present can see him as his eyes as they continued to roam over my body. I can tell that he wanted to get closer to me, but his girlfriend managed to step down and grabbed onto his arm again. Tighter this time, as lacing her arm through his, at his elbow. She then gave a low growl to get his attention back on her, and to show her clear displeasure at his actions. She had long, light brown hair and honey-colored eyes, and they were quite beautiful. Other than her eyes, she was plain and her weak chin did not help matters out for her. She can't help that, it was the hand she was dealt, and her angry eyes were now aimed back at me. Great, the first member of my fan club, which I am sure will be filling up fast. I had them at Silver Blade too, but since I was the Alpha's daughter and soon to be Luna, I was not to be messed with. I see that Delta Michael was doing the same thing that Beta Darren was doing. He was not trying to hide his interest in me from his girl either. It is clear that they are not taking me, or my safety, into consideration in this. They should realize that they are creating a hostile living environment for me here, with what they are doing right now. Almost like they seem to want their women to want to hurt me. What kind of screwed up ST is that? Are they stupid? Or do they just figure since I am bought and paid for, that whatever happens to me here, is not on them? They are setting me up to get hurt, and if they think that I will skim over, or forget that, they are so wrong about that. I will lay there like a lump, and they might enjoy it some, but nothing like if I was actively engaged. But I will make them wait forever to have me if I can. I think I can hold the Beta and Delta off, but Aaron is another matter on that. He will not be patient and wait. He runs the show, and what he says goes. Delta Michael's girlfriend, the little blonde next to him, hits him in the chest with the back of her hand. She is mad at his clear disrespect of her, while she is standing here watching him. This is not a good start, and I stepped a little behind Clive. He is the only one who can protect me right now, and he smiles in amusement at seeing me using him like a shield from them. I see him all give the rest of the ranked members a look with his eyebrow arched at they. Almost challenging them with it, and then breaking into a huge grin. He is very happy about this turn of events, and they are not. The motion of my trying to hide behind him did not go unnoticed by the other three men, and I can see them all frown, at my choice of picking Clive, over them. I don't see how they can't understand that I am defenseless here. Their women all look like they want to rip me to shreds right now. Delta Michael's girlfriend, the little blonde next to him, hits him in the chest with the back of her hand. She is mad at his clear disrespect of her, while she is standing here watching him. This is not a good start, and I stepped a little behind Clive. He is the only one who can protect me right now, and he smiles in amusement at seeing me using him like a shield from them. I see him all give the rest of the ranked members a look with his eyebrow arched at they. Almost challenging them with it, and then breaking into a huge grin. He is very happy about this turn of events, and they are not. The motion of my trying to hide behind him did not go unnoticed by the other three men, and I can see them all frown, at my choice of picking Clive, over them. I don't see how they can't understand that I am defenseless here. Their women all look like they want to rip me to shreds right now. I can see that Aaron finally notices it, and goes ahead and speaks to the three of them. Reagan didn't volunteer for this. We have a contract with her to build our pack up. She is not to be harmed here at Blood Tracker. Do not put a hand on her, or there will be dire consequences, no matter who you are to me, or the pack. I want to make it very clear to you three, and the whole pack, that no one, other than us, is allowed to touch her. If anyone hurts her or our goddess forbid hurts her for any reason, I will deal with you personally. I know you three may be angry about this, but if you had been having pups for us for the last few years, it would not have come down to this. I need strong pups to take over the pack one day, and you are all well aware of this. Do not take your anger out on Reagan. If I find out about it, you will be dealt with very harshly. He was serious. He used his alpha command when he spoke, and he meant what he said. Thankfully, he pointed out to them that I did not want to be here, especially in this capacity. It was not a positive or anything that a woman would want to be. Any woman would be upset to be treated like this. I am almost clinging to Clive's arm now, and I am scared. The fear is coming off of me in waves. As soon as Aaron spoke and Alpha commanded them, their gazes snapped right back to me. I can see the calculations they are having about what exactly they are going to do to try to hurt me now. That doesn't involve maiming me. Great, how awesome is this? I get welcomed by another man that wants in my pants. Then all of these women are blaming me for their men looking at me and checking me out. I did not ask for this, quite the contrary in fact. I am starting to suspect that I really did make the wrong choice in Blake's office, but my parents wanted, no they needed me to live. I am strong, and I know that Raven learned how to defend herself in a short amount of time. I will make that the first thing I learn here. We are twins, the same, and if she can do it, I can too. I see the one with a death grip on Aaron's arm lean over and ask him in a sultry voice if he was ready to go up to his office. I am sure she will be bent over his desk very soon if her tone has anything to do with it. She is the tallest, and obviously the strongest of the group. The clear leader of the three of them. She has red hair, and pale green eyes, that are currently trained on me. She could have been a beauty, but her sharp features messed that up. She had a sharp nose, and a protruding chin. It kept her from being as attractive as she could have been. It made her look cold and unfeeling, or that could just be the vibes I feel radiating off of her. She had been looking at Aaron, but after seeing him still focused on me, even after her offer to go up to his office, she is now very displeased with me being here. I am quite sure she is just like my father's girlfriends. Allowed to have S*X with him in his office, or in her own room, but never in his room. That way when he does find his mate, he can bring her here, and no other she-wolf scent will be in there to upset her. Not right now, Tabitha, I have some work to catch up on now, as we have been gone for hours. We can catch up with each other tonight though if you want, Aaron told her, and I see her huff. I bet she has never been turned down before, and I am sure that she is blaming me for that as well. Fine, I will see you later then, she said and let go of his arm. She didn't want to leave until he did, and she sure didn't want to leave me alone with him. Darren, we need to have a meeting to get some things settled. Let's go ahead and get that hammered out now. Clive, since she is staying with you, go ahead and bring her with you so Reagan will be safe. You can take her to your house to get her settled. After that Aaron spoke, and the girls stepped back as he let some of his aura seep out. He was trying to force them away, and they were angry about him using his alpha power to do it. We head up the stairs, and up to the second level. It seemed like the main layout on the first floor was the main entry, living area, dining area, and kitchen. But I didn't get a tour. I was surrounded by these four large men as we headed up to the Alpha's office. Clive seemed tense all of a sudden, and I realized that there were probably plans for me involved. I know all of a sudden that I will not be with Clive first. I didn't want to be with anyone else right now, they all had girlfriends, and I didn't want them to try to hurt me because of jealousy. I mean, I didn't want to be hurt for any reason, but jealousy was one that people will get very passionate and aggressive over. They will really try to hurt me, and I moved in closer to Clive. I am really frightened now, and this is a really bad start for my arrival at Blood Tracker. We passed several warriors on our way up the stairs. It looked like all of the unmated warriors lived on the second floor. This does not bode well for me, especially if his office is not soundproof. If their girlfriends come up to their room and hear any of them having S*X with me, that is going to be it. It won't be a matter of if they hurt me, it will be a matter of when they hurt me. My mouth is dry, and I can tell from Clive's expression that there is nothing that he can do to help me out of this situation. I am done for, and all I can do is put up with it. I am not even unpacked, and my nightmare is already starting. They entered the office ahead of me, and I hesitated in the doorway, as the last person in. I can see Clive is concerned for me, and he gently said, "It will be okay, beauty. No one will hurt you here." But I know for a fact that I am being forced into this office to have S*X with at least one of them, and it isn't going to be Clive. What? I mean, in the SUV Aaron said I could choose, but I am not getting that from them now. I nodded and stepped into the office to accept my fate. There is nothing that I can do to stop it anyway. I comply, or I die. In the end, Aaron basically purchased me, and if he wanted to he could probably bend me over one of the sofas in the giant living room to take me, and I would have no way to be able to stop him. I know that you have chosen Clive for your first, and the only problem with that is, I am the alpha. I will have you first, then you can go to stay with Clive if you so choose. I find that I cannot follow through on what I told you on the way here. The longer I get to be with you, I find that I am wanting you pretty badly. So I am altering the deal. I will honestly do the best I can to leave you alone after this. I can already see that Tabby, my girlfriend, will be very angry if she were to find out. But I cannot resist your allure, and frankly, my men would like to see you too. Take your clothes off, Reagan, I will have you now, Aaron tells me quietly, and I see what is going on. This is even worse, having his ranked wolves watch as he f's me in front of them. This is honestly the worst case scenario for me, and the most disrespectful. I do not want to be a part of this, and I was not raised to know how to cope with this kind of thing happening. I was raised to be protected, and cherished by my parents. They kept me safe and sound. I was meant to be a Luna, not a breeder. I am sure my parents were just as horrified over this situation, as I was. I know I made that video, but it was just me and Justin there for that, no one else. Justin was just so caring of me when he thought that I was Raven. Touching me so gently, and lovingly, like I was the most important person in the world to him. That makes my rage come back, just knowing that she had them both now, and is having a wonderful life that I should have. But look at me, here at a small pack, locked in an office with 4 clearly aroused and strong wolves. I am doomed, my nightmare is already beginning. I will not ask again, Reagan. Strip down, and come here to lay on my desk, Aaron said, and this time he was clearly commanding me to cooperate. Alpha Aaron, is your office soundproofed? I asked him quietly. I did start to move, taking off my t-shirt to stand there in my bra and shorts in front of them. It is, why Reagan? Are you loud? He replied with a smirk. No, but your girlfriends already want to hurt me. It will be even worse for me if they knew that we have had S*X. They are already very jealous of me right now. If your girlfriend knew you denied her, to bring me up here to have S*X with me, she will want to kill me, I replied, and took my shorts off. I am moving slowly, but I really don't want to do this. Unfortunately, dragging my feet will not be preventing this from happening. I will tell the whole pack that none of them are allowed to hurt you. I will try to keep you as safe as you can here at Blood Tracker. You are right, all the unmated warriors are on this floor, so they could come by my office to check on what is going on. But nothing will stop me from having you first, it is only fair as I am the alpha, Aaron said to me. I step over to stand near him, on the other side of the desk. Clive is clearly upset with this turn of events, as he thought that since I chose him, he would have me first. I can see from his clenched fists, that he got outvoted, and outranked. I should have realized that despite what the alpha said, they are very possessive. I should have figured that he was going to pull rank, despite what he said on the ride here. He pulled his t-shirt off quickly, and he was in great shape. He is eyeing me standing there in my bra and underwear like I am a snack that he would love to eat. He quickly strips off his pants and stands there proudly in front of me. He leaned down and opened one of his desk drawers to grab a condom. He motions for me to finish getting undressed like he is in a hurry. Like has something else to do. I know what he has to do, me. I turn my back to the other men and take my bra off. Darren and Michael are directly behind me, so they can only see my back. Clive is by the door and has an excellent side view of me. I can feel someone run their finger down my back, and then make a claw to rip the side seam on my underwear. They are impatient to see the show too. My humiliation is complete. My only value is in having S*X to provide pups. No higher than basically a PE. I cannot stop the tear that falls from my eye, as I stand naked in front of these men. Or if you want to pay for more such audiobooks, you can send us a request in a private Facebook group, or join us on WhatsApp, a link is given in the video description. The rest of the audiobooks will be uploaded in the next episode. Join us on Patreon to listen to more unlimited audiobooks.